Do you think you know Tom Selleck, the heartthrob of Magnum, P.I., and a Hollywood icon? I imagine not as much as you think. Get ready to discover a side completely different from what you imagine, filled with secrets, controversies, and moments from his life that he has never shared publicly. From controversial career decisions, rumors about his personal life, to unexpected clashes with co-stars and situations that nearly ruined his image, this story reveals everything that remained hidden for decades. If you really want to understand the man behind that charismatic smile, stay until the end, because the final revelation will deeply impact you. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. This helps the channel grow, reach more people, and bring even more incredible content. If you can, support with a super thanks, and if not, just comment on what surprised you the most. Get ready to dive into a narrative that mixes fame, mystery, and controversy like you've never seen before. Tom Selleck was born on January 29, 1945, in Detroit, Michigan, into a relatively calm family environment, but one marked by expectations and discipline. The son of Robert Dean Selleck, an insurance executive, and Nancy Selleck, a homemaker, Tom grew up in a family that valued stability, hard work, and education. From a very young age, he displayed a natural curiosity about the world around him, a trait that would later influence his desire to explore different paths in life. During his childhood in Sherman Oaks, California, he stood out not only academically but also in sports, with a particular inclination toward basketball, where he learned lessons in discipline, patience, and teamwork that he would carry throughout his life. This environment, which combined family structure with the freedom to explore interests, helped shape his reserved yet determined personality and allowed him to develop a quiet self-confidence essential for navigating the competitive world of entertainment. In his adolescence, Tom began to show an interest in the dramatic arts, participating in school plays and extracurricular activities that revealed his natural talent for acting and his innate charisma. However, he always maintained a balanced approach between academics, sports, and the arts, avoiding being consumed by any one area in isolation. Friends and teachers from that time remember him as kind, cooperative, and at the same time possessing a subtle sense of humor that charmed those around him. During these formative years, he also developed values that would become central in his adult life, such as loyalty, responsibility, and care for the people close to him. Beyond personal development, Tom Selleck's youth was marked by the need to discover his own identity amid an environment that valued success and conformity. He was aware that the world around him, and especially the entertainment industry that was beginning to fascinate him, would be full of challenges and difficult choices. This early awareness led him to cultivate an emotional maturity uncommon for his age, combining dream and pragmatism. This phase of his life also reveals the first signs of his ability to handle pressure, a trait that would later prove vital in facing the highs and lows of a career that would put him under the global spotlight. After completing his studies and graduating from the University of Southern California, where he majored in business administration and stood out on the basketball team, Tom decided to pursue acting, initially in a discreet way, appearing in commercials and small roles in television series. In the 1970s, he began to make a name for himself in Hollywood, appearing in productions such as The Rockford Files, The $6 Million Man, and other smaller projects that allowed him to gain on-camera experience and understand the dynamics of the film industry. His natural style, combined with innate charm and his famous presence that conveyed confidence and assurance, quickly caught the attention of producers and directors, but it also placed him at the center of comparisons and critiques, something he would learn to handle carefully over the course of his career. The major breakthrough came in 1980 when Tom Selleck was chosen to play Thomas Magnum in Magnum, P.I., a role that would forever change his career and make him a worldwide icon. The series combined adventure, humor, and mystery, and Magnum's character was the perfect mix of charm, intelligence, and assured masculinity. The success was immediate, turning Selleck into a cult figure and solidifying his famous mustache as a cultural symbol of the 1980s. However, absolute success also brought a darker and more controversial side to his professional life. The pressure to maintain high ratings, deal with obsessive fans, and face constant criticism regarding his appearance and artistic performance created an intense environment where any misstep could be magnified. For example, some producers questioned his choices regarding the acceptance of certain roles, accusing him of being difficult to work with or too selective, when in reality, Selleck sought to preserve his artistic integrity and avoid compromising his image as an action heartthrob with characters that did not align with his style or values. Additionally, Tom faced tense situations behind the scenes in Hollywood that, at the time, fueled rumors and minor controversies. These included disputes over salaries and contract negotiations involving Magnum PI. Although they never became major media scandals, these negotiations reveal Selleck's strategic side, as he understood the importance of valuing his work in a highly competitive market. Another controversial point was his decision to turn down big-budget film roles that could have further boosted his fame, but, according to him, did not align with his principles or offer the kind of artistic challenge he sought. Among the most talked about rumors were suggestions that he could have replaced other actors in successful projects, but his refusal was interpreted by critics and fans in a mixed way, oscillating between admiration for his professional ethics and criticism for missing golden opportunities. These situations, though controversial, solidified Tom Selleck's image as an actor who prioritized quality and consistency over instant fame. The impact of Magnum PI was so great that Tom became constantly associated with the image of the idealized man of the 1980s, an independent, charming, and reliable heartthrob. This association brought both benefits and challenges. On one hand, it opened doors to invitations for successful films and series, advertising partnerships, and international recognition. On the other, it created unrealistic expectations regarding his personal life, increasing the pressure for his public image to remain impeccable. He had to deal with an almost obsessive media attention, constantly speculating about his relationships, lifestyle, and professional choices. In several interviews, Tom expressed frustration with the media's focus on superficial aspects of his career and the lack of appreciation for his artistic effort, something that sparked controversy but also demonstrated his authenticity and desire to maintain a degree of privacy. During this period, minor rumors and scandals also surfaced, such as reports of disagreements with co-stars and producers, which were mostly exaggerated by the press, but contributed to the perception of a star difficult to work with. In reality, Tom was known for being disciplined, punctual, and committed to his work. His relationship with fans also experienced ups and downs, as he had to learn to handle invasions of privacy, paparazzi pursuit, and sensationalized stories circulating without proof. Despite this, he maintained a balanced approach, avoiding public controversies, which only increased the respect of industry colleagues and cemented his reputation as a serious and reliable professional. Alongside fame, Tom also engaged in several film and television projects that reinforced his versatility as an actor. He participated in action films, dramas, and comedies, always seeking to balance commercial success with creative challenges. On some occasions, he faced criticism for playing roles considered too simple or lightweight, but these experiences helped him better understand the market and the importance of strategic choices in building a solid and lasting career. Additionally, he began to recognize the importance of maintaining a coherent public image, especially considering that fame could be both a tool for opportunities and an emotional burden. Looking back, Tom Selleck's rise in Hollywood was not just about fame and instant success. It was a trajectory marked by conscious choices, difficult negotiations, controlled controversies, and the ability to reinvent himself under the intense pressure of an industry that leaves no room for mistakes. Between the irresistible charm of Magnum PI, his selectiveness in choosing roles, behind-the-scenes contract negotiations, and minor media scandals, emerges a professional who always sought balance between personal life and career, maintaining principles and values intact even in the face of lucrative offers and global fame. This phase of his life reveals not only a Hollywood star, but strategic, resilient man capable of turning controversies into opportunities for growth and learning, building a legacy that continues to fascinate fans and critics today, demonstrating that success and controversy can indeed walk side by side when someone knows how to manage their talent and image with intelligence and authenticity. Tom Selleck's personal life has always been marked by a rare combination of charm, discretion, and family dedication, qualities that became as important as his Hollywood career. Despite being constantly observed and speculated about by the media, Tom has always managed to maintain a balance between his public and private life, protecting those he loves and preserving his family's privacy. His first marriage took place in 1971 with Jacqueline Ray, an actress he met early in his career. The relationship, though initially intense, ended in divorce in 1982, a separation that drew media attention at the time, but which Tom always handled with maturity, avoiding public controversy and maintaining mutual respect, showing early on his ability to navigate changes in his personal life with elegance and discretion. After a few shorter, discreet relationships, Tom met Jane Seymour, famous for her role in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Their romance, widely discussed by the media, eventually ended in an amicable divorce. During these periods, Tom became increasingly aware of the need to protect his privacy, realizing that excessive exposure could harm not only his public image, but also his personal and emotional life. In 1987, he met Jillie Mack, whom he married the same year, beginning one of the most stable and happiest phases of his life. Together, they had 2 children, Kevin and Hannah, and Tom became known as a present, involved, and deeply engaged father, actively participating in their upbringing and well-being, something he has consistently mentioned in interviews as one of his top priorities. His relationship with Jillie Mack also revealed another side of Tom, the ability to maintain a solid marriage amidst fame, paparazzi, and constant rumors. He managed to create a relatively protected family environment, avoiding excessive exposure of his wife and children, while selectively sharing moments that demonstrated affection, complicity, and family values. For him, privacy was not just a strategic choice, but a way to preserve the family's emotional health, teaching his children the importance of boundaries and respect, even amid intense public attention. This approach has always been admired by fans and industry colleagues, who recognize that in a world where celebrities often lose control over their personal lives, Tom managed to maintain an image consistent with his values. Over the years, rumors and speculation about romances, separations, and conflicts emerged, but Tom Selleck has always dealt with these situations with calmness and diplomacy. He rarely commented on gossip, preferring to protect those he loves and avoid fueling media curiosity. In some interviews, he revealed that fame can be a significant emotional burden, especially when it interferes with private life, but that he learned to manage this pressure with maturity, setting clear rules about what was shared and what remained private. This balance between visibility and discretion became a hallmark of his personal life, allowing him to enjoy lasting, meaningful relationships without becoming a slave to public image. Additionally, Tom has always shown deep respect for his partners, avoiding exposing intimate details and maintaining friendships and cordial relations even after separations. This approach not only protected his family, but also reinforced Tom's image as someone trustworthy, loyal, and upright, qualities that contributed to his legacy as a person, beyond his career as an actor. In summary, Tom Selleck's personal life and relationships reveal a man who has learned to balance fame, love, and privacy, building a solid foundation of family and values that has remained strong over the decades, proving that it is possible to be a Hollywood star without sacrificing intimacy, affection, and emotional stability. Despite his public image as a charming, charismatic, and self-assured heartthrob, Tom Selleck's journey in Hollywood was not without difficult moments and hidden challenges that deeply impacted his personal and professional life. The meteoric success brought by Magnum, PI, and other projects provided fame, wealth, and international recognition, but it also imposed a level of pressure that was at times difficult to manage. From the very beginning of his career, Tom faced the challenge of balancing his artistic ambitions with the expectations of a highly competitive and often ruthless industry. He knew that a single misstep could damage the reputation he had built through hard work, and that public and media attention could turn simple situations into exaggerated controversies, requiring an emotional maturity unusual for his age. One of Tom's first major challenges came with the global recognition brought by Magnum PI. Although the series was a massive success, earning awards and acclaim, it also brought intense pressure to maintain performance standards and the character's image. He had to deal daily with the expectations of millions of fans, producers eager to sustain the show's success, and co-stars with different agendas and personalities. At the same time, he faced the internal challenge of not being defined solely by the success of an iconic role, striving to explore other types of characters and maintain his artistic relevance without compromising his integrity. In later interviews, Selleck revealed that this duality between public recognition and the need for personal growth was a source of anxiety, requiring emotional discipline and strategic decision-making over the years. Beyond professional pressures, Tom also faced physical challenges during his career. Filming series and movies demanded constant physical performance, action scenes, and long working hours, which often resulted in injuries and extreme fatigue. He experienced minor accidents on set, including falls and bruises that, although not widely publicized, required strength, endurance, and resilience to continue maintaining the high standard of work expected. This physical side of the career is often overlooked by the media and public, but it represents the real cost of acting in major productions. For Tom, learning to manage these challenges also meant prioritizing health, resting when necessary, and understanding his own limits, lessons that became fundamental over the years. Another hidden challenge that marked his journey was managing media and fan expectations regarding his personal life. Tom has always valued privacy and protecting his family, but the constant attention from paparazzi and rumors about relationships and personal choices created stressful and emotionally draining situations. For years, he had to deal with distorted news, speculations about divorces, romances, and even rumors of conflicts with colleagues, many of which were entirely unfounded. In interviews, he revealed that fame can be a significant burden, and that maintaining calm and balance in situations that could generate controversy require maturity, patience, and above all, a clear sense of priorities. Learning to filter information and consciously decide what to share or keep private became an essential skill to protect his personal and emotional life. Tom Selleck also faced challenges related to his public image and industry perception. Although he was beloved by audiences, some critics questioned his ability to tackle more complex or challenging roles, labeling him merely as a heartthrob or action star. These criticisms, though not always justified, placed pressure on him to prove his talent beyond commercial success. To manage this, Tom began choosing projects more carefully, turning down roles that could compromise his image or fail to present a meaningful artistic challenge. This selectiveness, however, led to comments suggesting he might be missing opportunities, a constant tension between preserving artistic integrity and responding to external expectations, something many fans and critics overlook when seeing only the surface of his career. Hollywood's behind-the-scenes environment also revealed hidden challenges related to contract negotiations, salary disputes, and creative differences with producers and directors. Although many of these episodes never became public, they required Tom not only to perform as an actor, but also to exercise emotional intelligence, diplomacy, and firmness to defend his interests without compromising professional relationships. He had to learn to handle conflicts discreetly, avoiding public confrontations and maintaining a reputation as a reliable and collaborative professional, even amid tense situations. This ability to balance assertiveness and diplomacy is a hallmark of his career, and one of the reasons he has remained relevant and respected for decades. Beyond external challenges, Tom also faced moments of self-discovery and internal doubt. Fame and success, while desired by many, brought questions about the true meaning of personal fulfillment. He recognized that public recognition does not always correspond to happiness or personal satisfaction, and that it was necessary to find a balance between career, family life, and emotional well-being. The way Tom chose to handle this tension, prioritizing family values and his own mental health, demonstrates a level of emotional maturity rarely associated with Hollywood stars, revealing a human, vulnerable, and resilient side that goes far beyond the heartthrob image presented to the public. Another important aspect of these hidden challenges was managing the image of his family and children amid fame. Tom has always sought to create a safe and healthy environment, away from scandals and media pressure, but this protection required difficult decisions, such as refusing interviews, limiting public appearances, and establishing strict rules about exposure of his personal life. This dedication to family privacy, while admirable, also represented a constant challenge, as it was necessary to balance an intense public life with the protection of intimacy, something few actors manage to achieve so effectively. Tom Selleck has always had a curious and complex relationship with the media and the public. Although he was adored by millions of fans, his statements and revelations over the years often provoked surprise, debates, and even discomfort among those who held an idealized image of the star. Unlike other Hollywood peers who fully embrace stardom and exposure, Tom has always maintained a balance between saying what is necessary and protecting his personal life. And it is precisely this approach to communication that has made some of his statements so impactful. In interviews, he revealed, for example, his frustration with how early success shaped unrealistic expectations about his personal life, noting that many people believed he should be perfect in every aspect, while in reality, he faced challenges and dilemmas like any other human being. This quiet honesty about the myths of fame was one of the first revelations that shocked some of his fans, who were accustomed to seeing him as an unshakable model of charm and charisma. Another controversial point was his frankness in discussing his professional ethics and career choices. On several occasions, Tom stated that he had turned down roles that could have brought him great fame or millions in profits simply because they did not align with his personal principles or his vision for the character. He admitted that this stance, while admirable to some, drew criticism at the time, with rumors suggesting he was missing opportunities or being difficult to work with. For him, these decisions were never about ego or vanity, but about maintaining consistency and respecting his own limits. The honesty with which he shared these thoughts surprised the public, as it revealed a little-discussed reality. Fame is not always synonymous with freedom, and conscious choices can be far more difficult than simply accepting whatever comes along. Tom also opened up in some interviews about his view of Hollywood and the industry's pitfalls, sparking controversial debates among critics and fans. He mentioned that often the glamour of fame hides psychological pressures, behind-the-scenes manipulation, and ethical challenges that do not appear on screen or on magazine covers. By addressing these aspects, he revealed a mature understanding of the industry's inner workings, suggesting that young or less experienced actors could easily be manipulated or misled by promises of rapid success. These statements surprised those who only knew Tom for his charisma and heartthrob role in Magnum, P.I., showing a more reflective, conscious, and critical side of what it meant to be a Hollywood star. On a personal level, Tom also shocked the public by discussing his privacy and the boundaries he set to protect his family. At a time when celebrities' lives were increasingly exposed, he stated that fame did not justify sacrificing authentic relationships or family normalcy. In interviews, he explained that he had declined appearances on entertainment programs or at events that could overly expose his children or wife, and that he often made unpopular professional decisions simply to preserve family intimacy. This revelation generated surprise and respect, but also some controversy, as it challenged the idea that a star should always be available for the spotlight. Some more recent statements, made in special interviews for documentaries or features, also showed that Tom does not hesitate to express his political opinions, social values, and positions on issues beyond entertainment, something not all fans expected. For example, he discussed the importance of civic responsibility, discreet philanthropy, and engagement in social causes, often with subtle criticism of the superficiality of certain sectors of Hollywood. These positions, while moderate, were perceived as controversial by parts of the tabloid media, which expected a friendly and charismatic star without strong opinions or involvement in serious issues. Another surprising aspect of his revelations relates to how Tom handled heartthrob fame and expectations about physical appearance. He admitted in interviews that being constantly labeled a sex symbol brought its own insecurities, and that behind the scenes there were real pressures regarding appearance, weight, and performance. For an audience used to seeing him as the ideal man of the 1980s, this frankness was shocking, as it showed that even icons have human vulnerabilities and face anxiety when dealing with unrealistic standards. Today, Tom Selleck lives a phase of serenity and maturity that stands in stark contrast to the intense years of his meteoric rise in Hollywood and the hidden challenges he faced throughout his career. At 80 years old, he maintains a balanced lifestyle, prioritizing family, health, and activities that bring personal meaning, showing that fame and financial success, while important, have never been his sole focus. Selleck has consistently emphasized in interviews that life has taught him that happiness and fulfillment are not measured by awards or public recognition, but by the time spent with loved ones, the positive impact he can have on the world, and the care he takes of his own well-being. This understanding reflects a maturity acquired through experience, self-knowledge, and the ability to learn from past mistakes and challenges, transforming each difficulty into an opportunity for growth. Tom's serenity also manifests in his relationship with his career. He continues to act but makes careful choices, prioritizing projects that spark his interest and align with his values. He does not pursue fame at any cost, nor does he allow external pressures to make him accept roles that do not resonate with the person he has become. This approach reflects the evolution of a man who has learned to value quality over quantity, authenticity over exposure, and balance over constant hustle. The result is a calmer work pace, allowing him to fully dedicate himself to chosen projects without sacrificing his personal life or compromising his physical and mental health. Tom has found a sustainable model of acting that combines passion for his work with respect for his own limitations and needs. Another important aspect of this phase of life is his focus on family. After decades of keeping his children and wife away from the spotlight, Tom remains a present and dedicated father, cherishing simple daily moments, family trips, and private celebrations that strengthen emotional bonds. He recognizes that family stability is a cornerstone of his serenity, and that love and care for loved ones outweigh any professional success. This discreet dedication of family is part of the legacy he wishes to leave, not only as an iconic actor, but as someone who knew how to balance fame and personal life with wisdom and genuine love. Beyond family and career, Tom Selleck has found new forms of purpose. He participates in social and philanthropic projects discreetly, choosing causes he truly considers meaningful. In interviews, he has revealed that giving back to the community and supporting initiatives that positively impact lives provides a sense of fulfillment that neither awards nor money could offer. This engagement reflects a shift in focus, from a young man seeking recognition and success to a man who understands the value of contributing to something larger than himself, reinforcing an ethical and emotional maturity that few achieve in the entertainment world. Tom also demonstrates great emotional serenity regarding fame and the past. He has learned to handle criticism, rumors, and media expectations with balance, recognizing that public attention is part of his story but does not need to define who he is. This acceptance has brought inner peace, allowing him to live each day with authenticity and purpose. The charm, charisma, and energy that made him famous are still present, but are now balanced with reflection, gratitude, and a broader perspective on life.